Alright, this is an 86 700, and where I'm hooking onto is the where the shocks mount, and I'm going to bring this strap around through the front. I'm going to get the knot out of it first. Make sure it's not twisted. But I'm going to pass it around the front of the carburetor, and then I'll show you here in a second where I have. Pull that, please. Just go ahead, pull. Alright, stop. Not too tight. Alright. So now I'm going to get some preliminary tension on this. And if you're worried about scratching up your little toolbox here or your valve cover, you can put a rag or a towel there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take an old paper towel and jam it on there. Alright, you see how this is coming through and it's not hitting, it's not resting on the bowl, and it's not up here around the diaphragm housing. This is just straight around the carburetor housing, and I'm going to go around the other side and make sure that's the same way. You just don't want it resting on something that's trying to make a seal. That will be bad. Okay, now here's the magic moment that everybody's curious about since this guy posted it. I'm just going to kind of come down here and get a close-up of this. Alright, here's the magic moment everybody's been asking about. With one click right there, it's already gone in. And all I'm doing as I click this is I'm just kind of applying a little bit of downward pressure to the carburetor. Okay, so as you can see here, it's almost fully in. I'm going to go around and check the other side and make sure it's the same way. I may need to shimmy it just a little bit, which I'm going to. Okay, now it's in. Alright, now here's the part that has everybody befuddled. Now I get the rest of it in. You're like, okay, Bill, we've got the first half. What do we do about the second half? This is the magic part. And much thanks to the guy that actually put this suggestion out there. And as you can see, that boot is sitting at an angle. Because these two, there's an offset. We're going to use that to our advantage. What you're going to need is two mechanics pry bars. Go to Harbor Freight, they've got a set of 4. Each one a little shorter than the other one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up underneath here without jamming it on a cable. So I'm just going to rest up on the bottom of the frame and the top of the airbox. Now I'm going to do this on both sides. Okay? And it's not a 1, 2, 3 go process. You got to look. You got to watch it down there. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to disconnect. I'm going to drop my radiator and go ahead and get that out of the way. Just because I can do it with the radiator on, but in this particular case, when everything's not going perfect in Disneyland, which is the way it usually goes when you're really wanting it to, it will be easier not to have it up here. Alright, so radiator's out of the way. I've got my pry bars up here. On the right hand side of the bike, my boot's not quite lining up the way that it did the last time I did this. So again, everything's not Disneyland all the time, so we'll run with it. Left side of the bike, on the other hand, is lining up beautifully. As you can see, that's why I got the camera on it. So I'm just applying downward pressure.
Beautiful.
Downward pressure. Okay, so that side's on its way in. I need to come over here to this side Let me push it back a little bit. Come on, go in. And I dropped my bar. Now it looks like I'm going in. I had to fiddle with this boot over here a little bit, and there's no real way to explain how to do that. You just do it, and you see right there it gave. And it gave. And with that, the carburetors are in. Just have patience with it. Work with it. Don't force it. You're going to have to use pressure. It's not going to be, you're not going to do it with, you know, a little Miss Muffet style pressure. But just burn pressure, control pressure, and they will go in. And you will not smash the heck out of your boots. So, at this point, you can tighten everything back up, put your bike back together, and hope to God that your carburetors do not leak, like mine did, upon their first reassembly. Quite embarrassing. So I hope this helps everybody. Have fun.